Hello and welcome YouTubers and Doctor Who fanatics to another Doctor Who Big Finish audio review. You probably haven't heard that in a very long time. For our first Big Finish review, to get back into the classic old TJ which you subscribed to me, we'll be taking a look at the first instalment of Time Lord Victorious by Big Finish. He kills me. He kills me not. But before we dive into the story, let's take a look at the physical CD itself and go to a very familiar filming location.
And here we are back to a very familiar place which I know a lot of you have been begging to see again. The good old classic radiator in the background and the wooden floor with the Big Finish CD in the middle. For the cover, we have the good old snazzy 8th Doctor in the middle with Brian the Ood. Alongside him with the TARDIS in the background, we have some debris. A very Western style cover on the right hand side. Nice blend of oranges and blue with a cosmos in the top left hand corner with the standard stuff of Doctor Who. Time Lord Victorious, the title of the story, He Kills Me Not, written by Carrie Thompson. And then on the left hand side we have more of the titling of Doctor Who, Time Lord Victorious. And then we have the back, we have the front cover blurred into the back cover. Nice contrast, again with the title in. Blur with the story, directed by Scott Hancock. And then the copyright information and the barcode on the right hand side. Then on the inside we have the booklet and of course the disc. Removing the disc, we have the next installment of the Time Lord Victorious range with The Enemy of My Enemy. And then we have the booklet featuring the production credits, a snazzy photo of the 8th Doctor and the cast featured in the story. So that was the content of the CD, now let's get straight to the review.
So, Time Lord Victorious. This series, I would say, has got a little bit of flack on the internet. People saying it's a cash cow, cash grab. And to what I say to that is, no. What's happening right now during this time, we're in a pandemic, it's a good way for writers and voice actors to, make money and battle this crisis. And new Doctor Who is, is good for me. And, I don't see the negative in things like that. I see it as new content, solo adventure featuring the 8th Doctor, new stories, pre-Time War. I'm all for that. So, yeah, I don't get the cash grab stuff to it. Just, no, come on. For a solo adventure featuring the 8th Doctor, this one wasn't too bad. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking, and it's not something I expected to be groundbreaking. Haven't read anything from, not necessarily read, but experienced any of Carrie Thompson's work. But there is one element which I so enjoyed and loved out of this story, and it was the Ood Brian, the assassin. The assassin. An assassin is an Ood. This Ood, this assassin, is rather emotionally calculating, uses gaslighting techniques, and it's just like the way he acts so calm and like in this assistant, but just like underneath this like layer, you can see like emotional manipulation. It's just, there's something special and a little bit, like, really effective about it. I can't really put my head on it, but it just feels, like, so evil and sick-twisted, but in this really calm and rational way. And it's not like a nude possessed by demons or a malicious spiritual entity and like a devil, nothing like that at all, but just a nude being a nude. That was a wonderful idea. I'm all for that. The dialogue and just how the Ood was written was, for me, the highlight of this story, without a shadow of a doubt. And of course, with the 8th Doctor too. All performances were great in here, but the story is centered in a wild western story of an assassin trying to assassinate an individual. Very basic plot. Don't get excited by the plot at all, because that's not what drives the story. Twists as well, predictable. Nothing outstanding, again, didn't expect it to be. But it's a dialogue-driven story. However, the dialogue does, it's quite overdramatic, Western style. Feels a little bit contrived in my books. If you don't like the gunfighters and the dialogue which comes from that, maybe I don't think this is a story which you will probably like a lot, because the dialogue is very... I unfortunately I do find it a little bit contrived. Very enjoyable story. Dialogue felt contrived a little. But for a story recorded remotely, quality-wise, it's still the same good old high-quality Big Finish, which I always expect them to be. So if you're thinking about like sound design or like voice acting may sound a little bit off or anything like that, no, I don't have those fears, because quality is top-notch, as it's always been from Big Finish. The most annoying character I have to, well, not really annoying, but is you know, playing the Wild Western sort of character, Craddock. The Craddock family. They felt like they were just kind of getting under my skin a little bit. It just felt too contrived for me. But yeah, it says on the back that the Daleks do feature in this story, and yeah, they only feature in there. Well, I can say it because it's so obvious, but it's, well, I might as well say it. I don't see it as a spoiler. It's a setup to the next story, really. It's predictable as clockwork. It's just so easy to actually just figure that out on your own just by looking at the releases, really. The Daleks have no link to the events of this story, but Time Lord Victorious works out as you can experience stories and enjoy them standalone, but apparently they all connect to each other. I don't know how that's going to work out yet. Makes it a little confusing with genetics of the Daleks, with the featuring in the Fourth Doctor, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. But we'll see what comes from it. Overall, it's quite good. It's quite good. It's nothing groundbreaking or memorable. Not really a story. Not really a story I would go back to for a re-listen. But it's good. I would give it a 6, but since I loved Brian so much and just his gaslighting techniques and the way he was written, he was definitely the best thing about this story. I'll push it up to a 7 because I love Brian that much. 7 out of 10. A good story, but I'm looking forward to the next installment more.